bumper coil right there. And I think up here it was leaking as well. That's too low. That should be charging the battery, right? Here's what I'm going to say about this project. It's sort of gone off the rails a little bit. It was here a month ago, like this, and now it's still here. As you can see from my Recluse clutch here, we destroyed the Recluse clutch. At least that's what I think. Would you agree? Burnt clutch, right? How did that happen? And remember, I didn't even write it. Well, what happened was, I got impatient. It's not expensive. It's really not expensive, and I'm over it. This came with the bike. It was free with the bike, so I'm not worried about it too much. But here's where I am in the moment. I had everything reassembled. I started the bike. I think I showed you the video initially. And coolant was coming out of two areas. It was coming out of here and here. I fixed that issue. I tightened that up. That's good now. I also had transmission fluid, trans oil, coming out of the clutch slave cylinder. And I had Recluse issues where every time I put the bike in first, it would stall. Even with the clutch pulled in, it would stall. So Recluse said, we'll warm it up and it'll unhook or something and it'll start working. So I did that and I warmed it up, and then coolant came out. So this all became a little bit of a fog. I haven't recorded all these videos. I should have recorded more. I noticed that I came down the next day after doing that small test and I found fluid leaking out. So I put a drain pan under there. I probably leaked out 300, 400, half of the capacity of the transmission fluid leaked out into my reservoir I put down. So I took everything apart, put it back together, but I did not add more oil back to the clutch side. Tightened that stuff back up, put the fuel tank back on, went outside, and just wanted to verify two things: that the Trail Tech was working and that the coolant was no longer leaking. So I ran it for 10 minutes in neutral, low on transmission fluid. So I burned up my discs. I thought in neutral, the clutch pack doesn't spin. I guess that's not true. You can tell me if I'm wrong there. Either way, I was going to take the Recluse out anyway because I went through weeks of troubleshooting why the Recluse wasn't working. I've installed it twice before. Why couldn't I put the fucking thing in first gear and ride the damn bike? Why was it dragging? I did everything I could, everything. Got all the air out of the clutch line, bled things, checked all the torques again. I went through the install multiple times, kept failing. It had previously been installed. And then when I went to take it apart the third time, I pulled it out and all the green fluid in the bottom here was completely black. You can see some of that sediment left over. I've gotten most of it out, but essentially it was all black. And so I noticed that my disc, my pack was burnt. When I was going to reinstall the OEM clutch back in, I noticed that a couple of parts were like broken. I don't even know where they are anymore. I throw them out, but some of the locking tab was not locking. It had been relocked too many times. That was broken off. The rod was possibly bent. I don't know. The clutch push rod was hanging out. A bunch of stuff was broken. Also, because I reinstalled it so many times, my clutch slave cylinder gasket was showing wear and tear. The whole thing, everything was just showing bad news bears. And so I ordered a few parts And again, 8 days to receive stuff from California from the moment I realized what I needed. And so that invoice is here from Beta. So clutch bush washer, the nut, the O-ring, slave cylinder gasket, push rod, and 4 screws. I just got a bunch of stuff because I'm doing everything but like buying a new basket essentially, and springs and pressure plate. Okay, there's that problem. So today in this video, I'm going to be putting all those parts back on. Then I'm going to be putting the OEM clutch slave cylinder back on, bleeding the clutch fluid line again, adding 750 milliliters of trans oil in there, reassembling that, putting the fuel tank back on, and hoping, let's keep going. Hoping when I start it up, I can put it into gear and release the clutch and it just goes. First thing. Second thing, the bike is on the battery tender. The reason why is because, I'll show a clip here, the voltage of the battery is never getting above 12.9. I ran the bike for 10 minutes where I ate up my clutch pack, and the voltage of the battery wasn't getting, there wasn't a charge coming. Now I could purchase the DFI wiring loom for $500 all in and replace all that myself. Or I can replace the regulator or the rectifier. I found online that some folks with these 2016 to 2019 bikes have good luck with a rectifier that is for more powerful motorcycles. So I bought a Yamaha rectifier for 18 bucks. I'm gonna install that. If my battery charges, I'm gonna defer the wiring loom and the regulator for a while, but I'm gonna do that. And then I'll put the fuel tank back on, and then we're gonna see if I can put it into gear and ride it. Okay, as you can tell from my voice, hi, I'm just really exhausted with this build. It's not money, it's just time. I bought it in June, it's September. Season's over in 4 weeks, and it's still on its side with the clutch cover off. I'm not gonna cry. What's frustrating is that I was going to replace the frame and the wiring harness over the winter. So at some point, it just becomes, Adam, just stop what you're doing and just store it until winter, because you're costing yourself more winter time to keep reassembling it and trying to ride it. I'm very close to doing that. So let's just see if I need to order more effing parts for this bike, or if I can just run it. If it needs a new wiring harness, I'm not sure I'm gonna ride it this year. I've never bought something in June, ever. I've never bought something in June that I can't ride until the following May. Never happened before. I'm not angry at the person that sold it to me. There's nothing like that. I'm not like mad or anything. I'm very exhausted of seeing this Beta in my basement and not actually riding it. I'm really exhausted. Okay. Yeah, let's get this clutch reinstalled for the 4th time. Put the new regulator in that's attached to the frame. Clutch slave cylinder goes back on the OEM one. We got it purged out of fluid. Purge the clutch master cylinder of air, and then fuel tank goes back on. That should take me 2 or 3 hours, and then we'll hopefully get this bike ready to go. I'm quiet because Matilda's above me sleeping. Okay, let's do something with this, right? Let's just do something and stop talking to ourselves. It's been 9-minute intro. I'm sorry. I had to update you all for my own sanity. Update you all on what's happened since taking delivery. And at this point, it's not the kind of project where I can just sell it, because now I'm at a point where no one's going to buy a $10,000 2018 Beta with 6,000 miles on it. It's my problem. I've got to own it. I put all this money into it. I need to get the excitement out of it that I put into it, and I have not received that excitement yet. It is still inside, hanging out. Okay. Just, who's that? Well, let's keep moving forward. I'm gonna find stuff later, but we have this lower frame pad for the lower chain slider, which is down here, which I didn't do when I was doing the chain. Hex 5mm coming out with this kickstand. It actually doesn't look that bad for the OEM one, but this one's much longer, so should sit nicer on the chain. And of course, as usual, we have a bunch of junk down here we have to clean out now that we've come across. We're making progress. So new slider, frame slider is installed. Ignore that, that goes to the skid plate. That's gonna go back normal, but we also have to take this off and move it up. I'm getting a new kickstand springs on the way, so this is slightly bent. So this is currently en route to ship to me. Again, it hasn't shipped yet from Sierra, BMW, or Beta, but 6 days to get my spring. I'm also doing this spring and then springs for the pegs, but yeah. It's in there, just loose, but I mean, it's tight, it's enduro things, I guess. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we are going to remove the clutch slave cylinder again and the case saver, and we're going to install the OEM clutch slave cylinder. I believe though, we first want to install a new O-ring in here. The O-ring's a little bit lazy, so we're gonna do the O-ring. We're gonna put a flow brake fluid, purge that a little bit, and then we're gonna install that, and hopefully it works. We clean it up a little bit first, but this did work before. So we have a new clutch slave cylinder gasket. We also have a new push rod. The old one's on the right, new one's on the left. A little weird on there on the markings, but should be fine. I think it's bent, but that was just like $13. If it's bent, then we've saved ourselves another 8 days of shipping. So this is going into one on the left. Okay. Other side, the clutch cover is back on, torqued down, reassembled according to the parts diagram. Now we have the clutch slave cylinder, again, torqued down, everything's in place, new clutch slave cylinder gasket. I need to bleed it, of course, from the top. But I'm gonna go ahead and do, while I'm sitting on my butt here, this Enduro Hog ignition cover. This ignition cover is $155 before you get the gasket. I think it's like $180, no, this thing is $250. It was $250 for this plus like $30. I wanted to make it look better. So I got this covered for $35 just to hold me over until I eventually replace this piece down the road. I'm gonna do that now, and then I'm gonna bleed this and proceed with the rectifier or regulator. Voltage regulator is for a Yamaha Raptor 700R ATV, and that's supposed to fix my charging issues. So for this one, we had to remove the shifter. Obviously, there's 3 bolts with Loctite, and it requires removing this one, and this one, and it goes around the oil filler cap that we have there. I did have to use my drill bit a little bit to shave out those holes slightly to make them fit on the frame connections, but the connector does fit, so we'll see when we fire it up if the battery starts receiving power. But it looks like this is not the first time this bike's had this done, because this is another regulator, and it's a SH640KA, and you can see here it was also drilled out. So this might not be the final fix. I might still need to take it in and have all the rectifier and wiring aluminum replaced, but this is a very cheap option that I can at least try to see if it fixes my problem. We still need to flush I'm like getting brain fog on this whole project. Flush the clutch fluid, the .5.1 synthetic clutch fluid, and we need to fill the other side with the transmission oil. Okay, all the rest of the fluid's been drained. So all this clutchy, gross shit has been drained out. This is the last 100 milliliters or so that was in the bottom of the tank. Or the reservoir, 850 milliliters have been added. Everything's torqued back down. You've done nothing but watch and judge. I have bled the clutch slave cylinder. I don't yet, oh, well, hopefully that's not a problem. This is the problem I had before with stuff leaking. Hopefully it's just some brake fluid, or you know what I mean. Enduro hog guard has been installed, and obviously the shifter is back on. I now have to, oh, and also the regulator has also been installed, so that's done. Now I just need to reinstall the fuel tank and the seat and take it outside and pray that this bike is, I say done. There's a couple more things I'm gonna do to it, but like it functions, right? Like I need to clean it, but like it functions. And then I need to go through all this stuff and like decide what to keep and throw. Oh, I didn't even do a video on this. I replaced the arc levers with the ASV levers. I didn't even do a video on that. Totally just forgot. I also just replaced the screws for these clutch and brake reservoirs too, because those screws were getting tired. It's charging. The new regulator is charging. Oh, guys. If I pull the clutch when you're going first, what happens? It doesn't stall. Best thing I've ever had in my entire life. Alright, I'm still having issues with it not starting even when the battery is fully charged. So let's order another part. It's going to be the starter I think I'm going to buy next. The push button start. But it's, or, you know what I could do? Take it to a dealership. Because what they'll do is they'll troubleshoot. I think that's what I'm going to do. Next step, get it all buttoned back up, but then take it to a dealership. I'm going to have them figure out what's going on there. And I'm going to have them also look for any leaks, assess the brake line, install. My front brake is very weak. It's not very strong, and the brake line might be too long. I'm going to have them look at the front brake line, maybe replace it with the beta brake line. I'm going to have them do the chain sag to spec. They will check fluid levels, understand why they look at the battery, the wiring harness, make sure there's no issues with that. I'm also going to have them look at the no start issue. That's the primary issue. I think that's where I have to go next with this. But, oh, sorry. I was went for a test ride. Went through all 6 gears, no problem. Chain is still a little loose. Front brake is not very strong. It's also much louder than I thought it would be. So maybe there's a leak somewhere I need to figure out. Under throttle, it's very, very, very loud. So I should figure out where the leak is, if there is one. Also, the rear brake locked up when I was coming to a stop and let the clutch out, even though the bike was off. The last issue I'm having, truly the last issue I'm having is the no start issue, even when the battery is charged. So that's the next one I got to figure out. I have this under here just in case I did something wrong and all the fluid leaks out again, but we're close. We're very, very, very close.